My name's Neil Simons. I'm a senior officer at HMP Blunsdon and I'm in charge of regimes and industries. Basically making sure that prisoners go to work, employment, making sure that there is enough purpose of activities for prisoners so they can attend education, labour, carpentry, welding. Initially started in 2002 as a residential officer, which entailed me working on the wings with prisoners. And after 3 years I fancied a career change, so I became a segregation officer, which is very challenging, very demanding. These prisoners are, which I would say, are down the segregation unit for their own protection. They also could be a problem within the prison estate, and they're very challenging prisoners. Hardest thing, I think, to me, when I was working in a segregation where we'd just found a prisoner trying to hang himself, that was quite hard to deal with. But then the prison service have care teams, they have support networks, and I think that was the hardest thing to come to terms with. Then after 2 years down the segregation unit, I then moved into what we call offender management unit, which is planning a prisoner's sentence, trying to reduce their risks so they do not come back into prison, giving them the skills for enhanced thinking skills, and basically coming up with a plan throughout their prison sentence, trying to reduce them offending. I wasn't that great at school. I enjoyed school. I was always Mr. Average, and I played for Norfolk for sports, for football and cricket. I also done tennis. I did play a lot of sports, to be honest with you, but schooling was good. I mean, I went to Great Yarmouth High School, never had a problem. To be honest with you, I was uncertain on what to do. I was going to go into the army, and went for the career talk, and I think they weren't taking or recruiting for another 6 to 7 months, and I was at loose end. I went into paint and decorating, which I thoroughly enjoyed. My father was a paint and decorator, and he was a foreman for a firm, and he just suggested, why don't you come into paint and decorating for a short-term fix? I ended staying into paint and decorating, to be honest with you. My dad left school with no qualifications, and this was basically the only trade what would accept him without qualifications. My mum works at Sainsbury's and she's retired now. She used to be a manager within the store. I was in for 4 years then. It was the building recession in the late 80s, and then I was thinking I need some more job security. Then I went into retail. I worked for Sainsbury's. I went in as a replenisher, various aspects of that type of job, cashiering. Then it was quite easy to progress into management. If you're a worker and you're a team player, and Sainsbury's, I will give them a do, we're really good at promoting this, so I then went into management. I also done what we call merchandising, going around to new stores, helping them set up new stores, looking at problems, problem solving, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And then I became an evening manager, and I was then having a child at this time, and the responsibility was every evening was too much, so then I applied for the prison service. I'd got a friend who worked at the prison service and said what a good career it was. Job security was a key to myself, especially being a new family member. I needed a regular income. The money was good at starting off, and this is why I progressed into the prison service. I'm currently a senior officer. I'd like to become a PO, which is a principal officer, which would be maintaining and running the jail on a day-to-day basis.